Hello everyone, it's Tana. Welcome back to my channel and today's video. I'm here with the latest release and we're going to go through it really quick. And while you're looking at those gorgeous pearls, gems, and sequins, I'm going to get ahead on reading these sentiments. So the first stamp setup that you will see is Bunny Travel. I love that little suitcase with the rainbow and clouds in it. Sending you sunshine and rainbows. We're moving. Missing you. Wherever you go, I want to be there. And wish I could send myself to you in an envelope. Next up is Bunny Breakfast. Happy Mother's Day. Relax, rest, repeat as necessary. Get well soon. Fur baby, because you know, some people have animals and those are their babies. Mother is a verb. It's something you do, not just who you are. And bonus, the word bonus, so you can put bonus fur baby. These stencils are triangle mosaic, and then that second one you saw, I believe, is called Connected by the Stars. We have Bunny Mac. Life like a macaroon is delicate and sweet. Love is like a macaroon. It has many layers. I believe I'm saying that wrong. Be a macaron in a cookie cutter world. And then You're So Sweet, which I believe is also in French. Then we have Hold My Flowers. Sometimes there are no words. Thinking of you in this time of grief with sympathy. Just a note. Thank you. Get well soon. And finally, Bunny Brew. And I'll read those sentiments to you in a few minutes. Okay, so we have here all the images I colored ahead of time there. So I'm just going to go through them and show them real quick. And I'll read these Bunny Brew sentiments really quick. Come and share a pot of tea. My home is warm and the friendship is free. Being with you is my cup of tea. You're tea-rific. And I have to say I love that little guy carrying the spoonful of hearts. Okay, so for the first card, we're going to get right into it. I'm using the Minted by Catherine Pooler to ink up my background there. And that splotch from my brush does not matter because it's going to be covered up. This is the newer version of Mint to Be. When she replaced the ink and retired Mint to Be. I do end up using both of them on this card. So I cut out a whole bunch of dome arch shaped dies from my stash. And I used the Spring Floral No. 1 paper pack to get this cool little pattern paper with the little branchy leaves as my background for my mini shaker windows. And I'm using Mint to Be to ink up my window frames and heat emboss them with Catherine Pooler's Halo embossing powder, inspired by Catherine Pooler by Wow, I have to say. So I very painstakingly did each one of those. Heat them, and then as soon as the embossing powder was cool to the touch, I set my very heavy old-fashioned iron on them to flatten them back out again. Which didn't matter, because rather than use foam tape or anything on these shaker windows, because the frames were so delicate, I ended up, as you see here, gluing a whole bunch of frames together. I think I cut out 18 of these things. There were 6 frames per window, and there's 3 windows, and it was just enough height to allow gems in there. But I did not use them. I used seed beads and sequins, and confetti sequins. So moving on, I actually had to redo a couple windows because I glued the frame to the height without putting the acetate on, but that's okay. So here you see me gluing my acetate on and setting those until they're dry, and then we're going to start filling our shaker windows. So I've got clear seed beads and like a golden yellow sunshine confetti sequin, and then like a bunch of different bright colored spring greens as well. And that's it. I tried not to put too much in them because they're very tiny. After they all were filled, I put their backing on with the pattern paper on it, and I let those dry. And I'm going to use the 3 colored pairs of rain boots for this card. I have some double-sided adhesive by Simon Says Stamp on the back of my panel, and I'm going to glue that onto a 4x8.5 slimline card base. I always forget to say card base. And now we're going to glue these in. And I did this by doing the left and the right one first. And I did eyeball it, but you can eyeball the edge of the paper and get it pretty straight. And then I tried to even out, center the one in the middle. Then I glued all my flower boots on. I'm going to call them flower boots. And I used a bluebird on each one. And I stamped out the words, or the sentiment thank you from that set, in an orange that kind of matched the first pair of boots. And the background was kind of empty to me. So I painstakingly colored and fussy cut out all of these flowers from that same stamp set and kind of glued them around the background and hanging off the edge to look kind of like flower wallpaper. We're going to go with that. I think it turned out pretty cool, actually. And that's it for the first card. For the second card, we're going to use Bunny Travel, and I've already used Prize Ribbon on my panel. And now I'm going to go over it with the Connected by the Stars stencil and Villainous Potion. And these were both regular distressings. I didn't use oxides for this one. And I think the colors turned out pretty cool, too. And I love that pink tape. It is so sticky you can use it more than once, but it's not so sticky that it ever rips your paper. Love it. Okay, so we're going to use a black card base for this, top folding, which I don't use often. And then I cut out 2 different size scallop circles from my stash out of vellum. And I went with the bigger one. I like the way that looked better. And I have my pre-colored image of the bunny inside the suitcase. And then I chose the sentiment, I can't remember. Used my powder tool there before I heat embossed. I guess we'll see in a second, because I cannot remember. I never remember, guys. I mean, this is me we're talking about. I wish I could send myself to you in an envelope. Then I'm just going to cut it into a rectangle, as straight as I can, rectangle sentiment strip. And that's going to get glued right underneath the suitcase, so it looks like it's sitting, the suitcase is sitting on top of it. Now we're going to glue our suitcase flat to the panel, or the piece of vellum. Excuse me. And then we're going to put foam tape on it only where there's images and sentiment strip. You don't want that foam tape showing through the vellum. And now I'm just going to add a few gems from that pretty packet of sequins and gems and pearls. I think I picked purple pearls. No, they're purple gems. That's it for today's video, guys. Hope you liked everything you saw here today. Don't forget to check out Rabbit Hole Designs on Facebook and Instagram to see new inspiration every month, all month long, for each new release. Don't forget to sign up for the email so you can be aware of all the new releases. And check out the new video design team for the YouTube channel. So check out Rabbit Hole Designs over on YouTube to see some more new interesting inspiration. We'll see you next time, guys.